Why, hi there. So, hi. It is Sunday, November 18th. Welcome to Wrestleview Live, episode number 48, the Survivor Series recap. I am not Adam Martin, because if I were Adam Martin, I would be in bed puking my guts out and other stuff coming out of every other orifice, because he is right now battling food poisoning. But in the meantime, here I am, your friendly co-host, veteran columnist of WrestleView.com, and really, really scared about this coming week. Doug Lackey, hi. Here to recap Survivor Series and maybe a little bit of NXT TakeOver from last night, kind of wrapping up this whole Survivor Series weekend in a nice little, well, I was never really good at wrapping presents, so a bag here. So that's what's going to be doing tonight. Welcome everyone to the show. This is not my first shindig doing this, solo. Not the first time, but hey, to each their own. I am the face of Wrestleview.com. That is absolutely right, Quentin. Absolutely right. No partner, going solo. But I'm actually not going solo because I got you guys in the chat room. Seriously, this is all about interactivity, making everyone feel really, really important. And so that's what we're going to do. First, of course, I want to get some plugs out of the way before we get into meat and potatoes and other side items of the Survivor Series weekend. Coming up tomorrow night, following Raw, get on this channel right after Raw to join, to have some fun with Mike and Victoria Tedesco. Mike Tedesco, the reviewer and recapper of Raw on WrestleView, and his lovely wife Victoria, who knows a lot more about wrestling apparently than I do. They go over Raw and give their 2 cents and maybe some extra loose change about all the stuff that's been happening over the weekend as well. And then on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard, get on this channel again to see more of me as I bring WrestleView Weekly to the YouTubes, where we are right now. What you're looking at right now. This is what it's going to be, where on WrestleView Weekly I also go over Raw and SmackDown, give my little reviews, go over a whole week's worth of news. We have our favorite segments, the WWE Milk Carton. We have also predictions that go horribly wrong. And also, I have my Match of the Night segment, where I will watch a wrestling match that I've never seen before and kind of check it out. But unfortunately, that Match of the Night segment will take place on the Twitch channel that I was on. So, hey, new stuff happening. Woohoo! Oh, hey, Jamel. How's it going? Just so you guys have, if you've never watched my show before, you should know that I have my own sources that contact me when it comes to this wrestling stuff. And so, here are my sources. Tonight's sources are the lovely gentleman known as Captain Morgan. You say someone was at the show? Well, I know there were a lot of people at the show. Oh, you mean the guy at the show's an asshole? And he had a really bad disguise. He looked like Mo going to... Oh, you don't say. We'll see what Captain Morgan's talking about here later on. Who do we have here? A guy in a hoodie and a bad wig? Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, those are my sources. So let's kind of get into this show. And just to give you guys a heads up too, joining me on Wednesday on my show. So I made predictions about the show. And oh, hey Demetrius, good morning from Greece. Luckily with the network, we finally can have the pay-per-views here. That's awesome. Cool shot, Mr. Demetrius. Is it Demetrius? It's probably Demetrius. Yeah. So cool. Awesome. Cool deal. If you have not ventured onto my Wednesday shows of Wrestleview Weekly, and you know I do my predictions and stuff, I make lock predictions. And when I make some locked predictions, if I get them wrong, I have to take a shot of tequila. This is the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. This has been by my side ever since the show started, about the beginning of the year. I think that's about right. I went an abysmal 6-6 for Survivor Series weekend, which means by looking at my tally on the Wednesday show for Wrestleview Weekly, I am taking 4 shots of tequila to start the show. So now you got a reason to tune in. Drunken wrestling talk. That's how we roll on Wrestleview.com. Hey, Nafis, you're in Seattle. Well, I'm not in Seattle. I'm in Charlotte. That is awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get on with this show. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to the things. A lot of wacky shit went down on this show, don't you think? I think so too. But it's really difficult to choose where to start. You know, the main contention that I've been seeing on the Twitterverse and the Facebook lands is, for the first time, there is a consensus that NXT TakeOver was better than the main pay-per-view that it was followed by. It's going on right now, and I'm going to be honest, the argument is so old. It happens every single major pay-per-view. Every single major one. Oh, NXT was better than on the main card just because it had a lot of flippy-dippy stuff. And they only had 4 matches, but each one of those matches lasted about 25 minutes. I could follow that. You know, it's an old argument, okay? And I'm frankly tired of it. Everyone should be tired of it right now. That the TakeOver show was better than the main show. You know, the TakeOver was better than Royal Rumble, SummerSlam. I'm going to set the record straight on this one. Okay? First off, I'm not going to push. You know me for not being a push person. Okay? It's either up or down. Okay? It's not in between. TakeOver was better than Survivor Series. Sorry. But I'm not going to say that it was a million stars better. I'm not going to do stupid ratings. I'm not going to do anything. It's more about how the show itself, this one Survivor Series, progressed. And how it was slow to start. Oh boy, was it slow. Don't get me wrong, Survivor Series, it was a good show. Don't get me wrong. We had our moments in the show. All right. We had a fantastic match between Lesnar and Daniel Bryan that none of us saw coming. We were expecting the passion of Daniel Bryan. We saw another fantastic match with Charlotte and Wanda Rousey, where we did not expect Charlotte to grab a couple of sticks and a chair and go bonkers. We did not expect that. However, there were a lot of matches that were just slow out of the gate and never picked up speed. There were a lot of moments in the show that you kind of just slunk back. You were postured and everything, but then you just kind of go like this, slink back in your chair, and go. That's kind of where it started for me. But it's true. All right, I make fun of the Cheeto Munchers and the Dew Chuggers all the time about how they always say that the TakeOver show is better than the main show. And they're never right. Never right. This time they're right. But it's about the construction of the show and the matches that we're in. It's not saying that the whole show stunk. Nothing stunk. Both shows were great. But if I had to choose my one of the two to watch over the weekend, it's going to be the TakeOver show. Sorry. And that's even when, I'll be honest, on the TakeOver show, I have yet to check out the War Games match. Because I have a feeling the War Games match is nothing but a spot fest. That's why I really haven't watched it. I'm only basing even my judgment of the Survivor Series weekend off of an NXT TakeOver show that I only saw 75% of. Get that. So that's kind of rough, okay? So where do we begin here? First, I don't like starting, and if you've watched our WWE pay-per-view recaps before, you know that Adam and myself, we don't like bitching about the show. Prediction: when Doug watches the War Games match, he'll scream, "Fuck this match." Oh, Torkman, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm going to throw something at the monitor, probably. That is an accurate view of War Games match. Yeah, it pretty much is. I don't want to get sidetracked right now. Other than War Games match being a spot fest, that's not what they were at all when the War Games matches were happening. War Games matches were just garbage brawls. That's what it was, okay? War Games was garbage brawling. Tons of it. And now it's just turned into a spot fest. It's like, the kids went up to Dad, Paul Levesque, and went, "Hey, Dad, what's that jungle gym that the kids played on back in the 90s over in Atlanta?" "Oh, son, that's War Games. That's a big old cage. Would you like Dad to get you that and play with that on November?" "Oh, gee, Dad, that would be really great." That's what War Games is to me. The kids went up to Dad. Dad showed them a tape of what Grandpa used to jump around in. That's what it is. All right, back to Survivor Series. This show. All right. If I've got to pick something to be happy about with this show, for the love of God, it's the women's match. It is the women's match, okay? First off, let's just sit back here and thank Nia Jax for what happened. Let us all thank an accidental right for giving us a fantastic match and just making us clench our fists and, curl our toes, just going, "God, I want Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey so bad. Oh, I hate Nia Jax for punching her in the face." Really? Come on. Nah, you can't. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey was a perfect story-driven match. Just perfect. First off, let's just start with the announce team of Cole, Graves, and Young. How they painted the picture that this was, a dream match that never was going to happen, but suddenly we had just put in our laps. And so this is the best. This is a dream match. This is Ronda Rousey from UFC MMA going against the best women's wrestler, period. Okay, the queen of this realm in Charlotte. The match told a fantastic story. How, number one, Ronda Rousey sells like mad. Okay, did a fantastic job in selling. Great with her facial expressions, and then you're facing Charlotte, who, let's face it, Charlotte as a babyface has not been the best, but when put in the right situations and given sort of the heelish nature, or that, she's not the babyface in peril, she's way better. As long as she's not in peril, she's fantastic. And that's what we got in this match. Charlotte in control, Rousey in peril, trying to constantly come back, and then we get the cutoff spots like this. God, the camera work just fantastic. Before Rousey just jaw-jacking to everyone, and she's pumping up, "Yeah, that's right," and then bam. And it was moments like that that made the match so good. And again, told a fabulous story of how this is Charlotte's realm. You cannot beat her in this. No matter how many, weird submissions you put her in, she will counter out of them. No matter how much you try to strike her, she will strike back. That was the story told. But then Rousey would come back and make another rally, and from out of nowhere, we get to some, shenanigans going on in the outside. Rousey runs around the corner to try to get to Charlotte, and Charlotte found a stick. Charlotte found a stick and started beating the crap out of Rousey. And that's where it ends. Well, kind of. Well, yeah, the bell rang, but that just wasn't enough for Charlotte. She wanted to give her natural selection on the chair and scream really angrily. Ever since, and I want to pause this right about there, right there. Yeah, check out those eyes. Ever since, I think it was ever since Charlotte had to have eye surgery. I think it was about a year and a half. I think it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Her eyes have looked weird. Like one is kind of lazy or kind of squinted in and the other one isn't. Yeah, it makes for really creepy visuals. Yeah, maybe that's just me. Ed Hamilton saying WrestleMania, Rousey, Flair, Lynch. No! Stop it! We're not going to get a triple threat. Why would we get a triple threat involving two people from one show and one from another? That makes no sense. Who is a better crazy person, Charlotte or Daniel Bryan? Let's consider that, shouldn't we? Who is the better crazy person? Yeah, Charlotte did look like legit crazy person. Well, she's from my neck of the woods, so yeah, we are a little crazy. Don't know what to tell you right there. We don't need a triple threat coming out of this. Fantasy booking to come soon, okay? Believe me, I'm the king of fantasy booking, okay? We will get to that very soon. All right. But of course, the main event that we had tonight, Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, WWE champion from SmackDown, Daniel Bryan versus the Universal champion from Raw, Brock Lesnar. 10 years ago, Bryan Danielson was performing for Ring of Honor. He was doing he was playing, he was in bingo hall matches, doing that kind of stuff. If you don't mind me, if you see me on the browser right now, I'm just kind of wanting to see what was Brock Lesnar doing back in 2008. Just curious. So I'm just going over here to the Internet Wrestling Database. That's where I like to go. 2008, he wasn't even hired. I think 2008, we're looking at 07 was when he left after WrestleMania to try out for the Vikings. And after that, he just fell off the face of the planet. No, he went to Japan. Yeah, he went to Japan. Actually, do we want to do Brock Lesnar wiki? Just to see what his career, his resume was in 08? Sure, why not? Let's go to 08. Okay, this is when he started in the UFC. That's when he started in it. Okay, so Daniel Bryan, 10 years ago, Mr. Bryan Danielson was with Ring of Honor. 10 years ago, Mr. Brock Lesnar was signed on with the UFC and just started. You know what the next sentence is that's going to be coming out of my face, right? If you'd have told me 10 years ago that some joker named Bryan Danielson and Brock Lesnar, who just got booed out of MSG for having a match with Goldberg, they were going to have a match 10 years later. They were both going to be champions in WWE of respective shows. Really? I mean, I can't. How do you explain that? I appreciate it, Shifty. Yeah, we're going to stay on YouTube for a while. I'm really glad that Twitch doesn't buffer all the time because, number one, I have a really good internet connection. YouTube has fabulous servers, and if your internet connection sucks, you don't get punished for it. So, this match Bork Laser versus Daniel Bryan. Throughout the beginning of this match, Daniel Bryan's kind of taunting him a little bit, kind of poking the bear, which I thought was pretty cute. It's pretty fun. Laser thought it was cute too. Daniel Bryan, I'm gonna take a jog around here. Nah. I'm just gonna take my sweet ass time. Not until the bear caught him. And whee! I did not really count how many suplexes that Mr. Danielson or Daniel Danielson or Bryanson Daniel him took. It was a lot. At the beginning of this match, and you're watching it for probably the first 5 to 10 minutes, you're kind of relapsing into SummerSlam times with Bork and Cena, thinking this is just going to be a ragdoll effort, the passion of Daniel Bryan. But then, nope, we get some kicks to the face when Bork was trying to pick him up again. We have some mishaps by Laser where he's going into the turnbuckles, and Daniel Bryan makes up for it in tow. There's the first running knee. And here comes another running knee off the apron over to his face. This match was a great match. It told another great story. How Daniel Bryan is a very tossable person to someone the size of Bork Laser. Okay? But they showed that he was someone who could take a lot of beatings, get dumped on his head a lot, and he would still come back. But still also told the story of Bork Laser in that, no, he's just an unstoppable killing machine, and you can't really beat him. Both sold fantastically. Both of their offenses fantastic. For the love of God, I think, Daniel Bryan, he was pinned by an F5, but he took 2. Was tossed around like a puppy. I mean, the argument's coming out of here. And also, damn, Bork Laser was in the stupid little crossface that we call a yes lock. Can we just sit here in awe of Bork Laser's eyes being in this lock? It is just, this match was really great. But does that make the show in its entirety great? Not so much. Okay? The two main events told fascinating stories. Told great stories. And it's definitely the 2 reasons I would go back to the show on the WWE Network to check them out. All right. So I got my jollies out of the way. Now it's time for us to revert back to what these podcasts and these vodcasts and all of these reviews, what they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be people bitching about stuff. So let's go ahead and bitch. Let's start with the women's 5-on-5 elimination match. Fire away in the chat room about why you did not like this match. Okay? Fire away. I would not have opened with this match. I really would not have opened with this. I would have rather... A match like this, honestly, should have been on the kickoff show. But it was kind of the main ending segment of the go-home episode of Raw, so... Yeah. I just don't like how this match itself was written and constructed. This women's elimination match. Not... How do I want to put this? I don't think they took advantage of the situation that they had well enough. I don't understand how Nia Jax never threw a right hand. She's called the face breaker, but she didn't break any faces. And I'm not saying she was supposed to do it through the entire match. I'm just saying she's taken advantage of this situation on social media. All right? Becky has gone into her. Everyone is going into her. She was introduced, and they are raining boos down on Nia Jax. I guess, you're right. I mean, Torque, she pointed to her hand a lot, but she sure as hell never used it. Why? They gave her the stupid leg drop and Samoan drop to finish the match to be the sole survivor. I don't mind that she's the sole survivor. That's not the point. The point of this is you said that this big, stupid appendage that you have, that you accidentally slugged someone in their eye hole and almost broke, they may be missing WrestleMania if you think about it. But this thing that you did, caused a stir, a major stir, for the better, for the way better. And you can't take advantage of that? And you cannot sit there and tell me that, please someone tell me, who would write this, okay? And not have that dumb right fist of hers in this match. That was molten lava heat that poured down from the volcano of the LA crowd onto Nia Jax. And we can sit here and go ahead and complain that, the writers, they just wrote that in and they just mailed it in and they didn't think on the fly. The people in the ring can do it too. There's nothing saying that you can just do an audible. You can't tell me that these ladies could not be sitting there and just go, you know what, Nia, you do your moves and everything, but instead of, you do your leg drop, and instead of doing your Samoan drop, you pick them up and you just slug them. Either right fist or right elbow. You slug and slug hard. See what comes from it. Why not? What's going to hurt? Oh no, her Samoan drop is no longer a finisher. Never a good finisher to begin with. She's the biggest woman of everyone. She should be booked as the big show of the women's division, where just the simplest of moves injure someone tenfold. We saw it happen on Monday night, right? Fist to the face, broken eye hole, might be missing WrestleMania. Everyone and their mother is mad at her now. Take advantage of it. This was the number one. This right here set the tone for me in this women's match. Like, yes, we did have Carmella having a nice little dance break and doing the flossing thing. Is that a Fortnite thing? Is this dance breaking and the dance moves that she and R-Truth do, is that a Fortnite thing? Because there are a lot of things that happen in this on this planet that I believe show why I'm old. It's because I don't care about it. And Fortnite is one of those things I just don't care about. I'm not going to go over the aspects of the match and who got eliminated where. It doesn't matter. Asuka had some fun with Nia, booting her in the face in the ring post. But then Sasha Banks came into the match. That's the other thing, too, with this match before we really get into it further. Let's see. So Charlotte's no longer on the SmackDown team, so they announced that Mandy Rose was going to take her place and Naomi was going to be the captain. Who the fuck cares who the captain is? Who cares? Also, over on the Raw team, apparently Ruby Wyatt and Natalya cannot get along with each other, so to take their place was Sasha Banks and Bayley, the two people that had a match on the previous Raw to find out who would get a spot on the Survivor Series team. Got the crap beat out of them by everyone else that's on the Survivor Series team, that being Tamina, Nia Jax, and Mickie James. So, So Miss Alexa Bliss sends the big girls and old girl to beat up the little girls just cuz. But then later says, oh, you know what? No, I want the little girls back on my team. The logic of wrestling. The logic of professional wrestling. You know, what are you going to do? Oh, the flossing thing is a hip hop thing. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah, not only am I old, but I'm obnoxiously white. So, yeah, this is what we had. I was actually looking forward to Sasha not being booked on this show. But no, she lasted throughout the entirety of this match. Why? Why did Sasha last the longest on the Smack? Why? I mean, yeah, Nia Jax was the last one standing on Raw, but why did Sasha get the second? No. Sasha's not very good. Can you please find me someone who thinks that Sasha Banks is still good? You have to excuse me there. There are a lot of women that are terrible in this match. It was bad. It was really bad. Asuka, Nia Jax, they could not make up for the atrocities that are Tamina and Sasha Banks and Sonya Deville. There's a lot of bad stuff. There was a lot of bad stuff in that match. Okay, Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamerica, United States Champion. So. I know that Mike Tedesco, our Raw reviewer, recapper, Raw something, says that that Seth Rollins is the best performer on the WWE roster. Watching this, I guess, but I didn't see anything. This was a bland match to me. Rollins Nakamura seemed really bland, and I'm trying to put my finger on it. I'm trying to put my finger on why it was bland. Was it because we kind of had regular spots that we've seen before in Rollins matches, like this little leg drop onto the top of the second rope? Is it because we've had other spots like Nakamura rolling through on a missed clothesline to give an armbar? Could it be because we've also seen spots like the superplex from the top rope float over into the Falcon Arrow? Or could it be just from their attire and what they're wearing? For fuck's sake, Nakamura. Look, I understand you're on the blue team. I understand you're SmackDown Live and they are blue. But wear different shades of blue here. They tell you gotta wear a damn SmackDown shirt because, we can't figure it out for ourselves that you're on SmackDown. But wear a different shade of blue. You could do a royal blue underneath the SmackDown shirt. You could do Carolina blue. There are many different shades of blue you could put on underneath your stupid little SmackDown shirt. Or maybe you just not wear the SmackDown shirt at all. Maybe you come out with the SmackDown shirt on, and then when you're in the ring, you take it off because, hey, I remember you wearing the t-shirt. You must be on SmackDown. Oh, for the love of God. It looks so stupid. It threw me off entirely. And I know that's kind of, I guess, facetious of me, I guess. I don't know what the word is. But to say that someone's outfit kind of throws you off of the match, it happens. Believe me, it happens. Especially with the color blue. Do some research. Okay? And hell, Rollins wore the same goddamn t-shirt that he wore from last year's Survivor Series. The stupid little red and black split thing. That's why the only tweet I really made about the show on the Twitter was a picture of him just going, oh, not this shit again. Because that's what it was. Okay? The match was very meh. There was nothing outstanding about the match. at all. It was just a typical Rollins match. And I don't even know what a typical Nakamura match is anymore either. Seeing his head, I think he's only had 2 or 3 matches that have been televised in the past month or maybe 6 weeks. So I'm just not digging either of these guys. Something has to happen. And hopefully something will be happening with Rollins at TLC coming up next month, where he's going to be defending the Intercontinental title against Dean Ambrose. What are the stipulations going to be? We're not sure. There may not be any stipulations. Who knows? But we'll find out. Speaking of Bayley, wore that same thing she did last year. Yep, that's right, Andrew. She wore the same damn thing. I don't know what it is about these outfits that'll throw me off. All right. Tag team champs versus tag team champs. The Bar with Big Show in tow versus AOP with Drake Maverick in tow. Look, this was the match that I was looking forward to the most. Yes, even before it was Ronda Becky, then turned to Ronda Charlotte. This was the match I was looking forward to. Just sacks of potatoes for everyone to enjoy. A scrawny little dude, Drake Maverick, on one side. A big, monstrous oaf in the Big Show in the other corner. Oh, the insanity. In my mind, I'm picturing Maverick just, interfering and the Big Show just lumbering over to him and he's just running around. I'm imagining potatoes by Sheamus and Razor just unloading on each other. Meh. It was very meh. It seemed very disjointed. For one, when you hear that the match, the Bar AOP, you think to yourself, oh man, this is going to be a fun match. But they're heel teams. And in tag team matches, heel team matches are not the best. 2 babyface teams, that's a different story. Because what's the number one thing you look forward to in a tag team match other than tandem moves to hope that they book onto your new, WWE 2K19 video game? What's the number one thing you look forward to in a tag team match? Hot tag. Who's going to get the hot tag when the 2 teams are heel? Who's going to cheer for the heel teams? Unless it's Becky Lynch teamed with Becky Lynch. There was no team to be a legitimate hot tag, which means you have these 2 teams that you really actively despise. I mean, you got AOP that steamrolled Seth Rollins, and you got the Bar that's been doing wacky shit with the New Day for the past 2 months. It doesn't gel. Just on paper and just reading the names that would be in this match, you would think you would not be let down. But the match itself just did not flow. It just did not come together. And so the only image that we're left with is the Big Show choking Drake Maverick standing on the apron, and he cues up the pump in his jacket, and he starts peeing in his pants. Even though, let's be honest, I did not want to focus in on someone's crotch for so long. Okay? I don't know. It's not... Yeah, that's the lasting image that you get, is a shot of Drake Maverick's crotch. Yeah, that's something to remember. Yeah. Oh, by the way, during this match also, there was a lot of mixed reactions going on with the crowd. Apparently, then it seemed like the crowd was distracted. And on top of that, the cameras were taking some really weird angles. WWE was taking some really weird angles. So, Wahapa? Well, look who we have here. Look who we have here. A guy in a wig? A guy in a hoodie? Dear Lord, it smells like talcum powder and 1995 M&M in here. What we got here? Apparently everyone else around him doesn't know who he is. So, yeah. The guy formerly known as Enzo Amore, because I'm not really going to mention his name or anything, he was at the show, wore this stupid disguise, a really bad disguise, and then would proceed to bring attention to himself. He started jumping up and down in front of the aisles diagonally from the hard camera, okay, which that was on purpose. Starts bringing attention to himself, trying to get everyone riled up. Why? I don't know.
He's gonna get kicked out.
He tried doing his chanting and shit with a fake microphone in his hand.
Wow.
Yeah, Well, you got some security and police and people behind him. He runs away, and security is escorting him around the building. Not only on top of that was he escorted out of the building, but he also tried to get back into the building, trying to talk his way back in. Yeah. Well, no, he didn't have one of his old shirts on. He just had a t-shirt on that was made apparently at a state fair. That was airbrushed with words on it. It wasn't one of his old shirts. It really wasn't. This is how we'll remember this guy now. Looking like this. Just get a good look at this face. Okay? This is sad. It's really, really sad. So, yeah, that happened during the tag match. Is that to blame for why everyone really didn't receive the tag match so well? Not really. This incident happened probably after the first minute or minute and a half in the match. This incident only lasted about a minute itself. So, after that, there's another 5 minutes to try to get people enthused in the tag match. So, yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyway, back to the show that was kind of meh. Mustafa Ali going after the cruiserweight title that is held by Mr. Buddy Murphy. Oh, yeah, he's from Australia. Remember that. There's something about cruiserweight matches that were preceded by NXT matches that just, you just don't care. Kind of get my drift here. I mean, sure, I didn't see the War Games match from last night, okay? But I've seen GIFs. I've seen highlight videos. Yes, I have seen the stupid flippy-dippy stuff that Ricochet and Dunn did. I saw all of that stuff, okay? When you watch that match, and then the next day you have this, which there's not as much flippy-dippy, there's not as much, It's tough, because I want to like it, but I feel like I was spoiled for some reason, or, I don't know. Something needs to happen. I don't really think anything needs to happen with 205, now that I think about it. 205 Live could be fine how it is. Should they be showcased on pay-per-views? Absolutely. Should they be showcased on the main show? Absolutely. Sparingly. Maybe instead you should have it be the very first match. Maybe you should just have 205 and their cruiserweight division, whenever they're going to be on a major pay-per-view, have that be the very first match you watch. And I'm not saying first match in pre-show match. I'm saying have it be the first match. Have it be like, the opener to your show. It really wasn't that bad of a match at all. I mean, it had its spots. It had its really good segments. Because, for one, Ali sells like a goddamn champ. Murphy, also fantastic in his own right for a guy who is on the cusp of being over 205. This was a lot like WCW to me. It had a very big Monday Night Nitro feel to it. But the difference is the cruiserweights on Nitro were the trapeze act. The cruiserweight act of WCW and Monday Night Nitro they were the carnival sideshow. They really didn't have a belt to battle for. There weren't storylines. It was mainly tag teams or six-man tags where you had creatures like El Dandy and La Parka and Psychosis. You had all of those guys just doing shit. And Silver King. Who could forget Silver King? Just doing shit, That's kind of what I feel like 205 Live has been slotted into. But it's more important than that because they have actual stories. They have plot lines. They have character development. They have a goal that everyone wants to achieve. They have antagonists and protagonists. It's not just a stupid, silly spot fest. So, yeah. And it's kind of disappointing. Because you expect better. You want better. I mean, it was a good match, but damn it. Well, actually, except that. No, fuck the Spanish Fly. I fucking hate the Spanish Fly. Okay, Ali doing a Spanish Fly off the table where Murphy was. Fuck the Spanish Fly. Night, CJ. All right. Finally, so I can stop my bitching about Survivor Series, because I already said what was good about it. The men's 5-on-5 match. Was there anything really bad about this match? No, not really. Was anything great about this match? It was ho-hum. It was kind of a paint by numbers, but man, did they make some people look bad in this match. And when I mean make look bad, I don't like using the word bury, but it's darn near close to it. 5-on-5 elimination match. I'm just going to go over right now the people who were eliminated. Okay. First off, let's start with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is looking for some time off right now. They were going to be writing him off after his initial program with AJ Styles. If you remember, they were going to have he was in the first round for this little World Cup tournament, and his knee is blown out. Remember? And he couldn't continue. I think that's what caused Jeff Hardy to make it into the World Cup tournament. So their initial plan was to write Samoa Joe off of TV and give him some time off. But they have him be the first one eliminated. Yeah. So no, there was no burial in that one. We had some nice spots, but I don't really plan on looking at that. Next elimination is Finn Balor. Finn Balor, who ended up losing to Mysterio. Mysterio ended up pinning him. But he took a lot of beatings. He tried coming back. I mean, Drew McIntyre made him look like crap. A lot of the SmackDown made him look like crap. I don't know what's going on with Finn Balor. I've put it out there before that of all the people that everyone thinks is getting buried, the one that they should be saying is probably getting buried is Finn Balor. Because the only way that he's been winning is by flash pin. There ain't no coup de grace. There ain't no sling blading. There ain't no nothing. Next elimination, Dolph Ziggler. Wow. What? I'm not saying he's been buried, but you're gonna have Shane McMahon pin you again? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And they do it again after the Coast for Coast, but when he tries to do it a second time, no, it doesn't happen this time. Good old Braun. I love me some Braun. Jeff Hardy, nothing going on with him. Rey Mysterio, he's just fine. The Miz is absolutely just fine. Shane McMahon, oh, he's just fine. Right now, it's just about Finn and Dolph. I don't want to say Dolph's going, but Finn is definitely looking bad right now. Balor not booked right? Book him right now. I'll wait for you, Ed. Ed in the chat room. Taking up the same argument that I hear from everyone when it comes to, they're underutilized. They're not being booked right. Nothing's happening. Well, now you've got the floor now. Book him right now. How are you booking Finn Balor so that he is booked correctly? And Ed Hamilton says that he needs a faction. He needs a faction. Why does he need a faction? Why does he need a faction? And who's going to follow him? Who? Who with enough stature is going to follow him? And right now doesn't even have enough charisma to be even the head of one. Maybe he be a part of a faction, but he not be the head of it. You know? Maybe it's about time he just needed to go somewhere else. You know? All right, Ed. Now you're done. No. Okay, that's enough out of you. All right. You've huffed enough Cheetos today. No. All right. That's enough of that. Hey, Doug, how would you book Finn Balor? I would have him minimally on TV. Minimally. I would have Finn on there for the sole purpose of being in a tag match, doing some six-man tag stuff, almost putting him in the slot that Bobby Roode and Mojo Rawley were in. For the time being. He'd have a good appearance at the Royal Rumble. I'd have him enter into the Royal Rumble as the Demon, but his Demon entrance takes so long that the next entrant into the Royal Rumble comes in behind him as he's doing his stupid entrance, tosses him into the ring only for him to get tossed out. So I do that. After that happens, I almost want to say I'd have him fall off the face of the planet. But no. This would start a regression of Finn Balor. I would book Finn in that he's getting frustrated. He's not winning. He's sad. You know? He's just not doing it. You know, it just ain't working. He tries as hard as he can, but he can never win. He loses to Dolph Ziggler a lot. He'll lose to Drew McIntyre. He'll lose to even the up-and-comers that he is supposed to be better than, like a Chad Gable or a Bobby Roode. He'll lose. But he doesn't get frustrated. He doesn't turn a heel. Finn doesn't turn a heel. He still stays down on himself. Okay? And suddenly I would have him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I would. As regular Finn Balor. And maybe that'll help him. But yeah. That's how I would try to help Finn Balor as a character come up. Right now, we don't even know what the hell he is. We don't know why he's a babyface. We wouldn't know why he was a heel. We don't know what he is. We really don't. If you think about it, we have no idea what he is. The Demon is the best. I know. He looks really cool in all that makeup and all. But what else does he do? That's the only reason they brought him in was because of the makeup. You do understand that, right? They can get anyone to do that. That's why they had the boogeyman. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Can we just stare at Charlotte some more? Yeah, let's just stare at Charlotte some more and how creepy crazy she can get. Man, oh man. It was just a really weird show. It really was a weird Survivor Series where the two main events showed why they were the main events. And the undercard was just meh at best. If you were fortunate enough to stay awake all the way until the end of the show, well, good for you. You were paid off in tenfold. But man, this was kind of a rough show from the beginning. And the crowd itself was weird too. LA was not really that into it. You know, there's a lot of weird stuff that happened with the show. What can I say? Yeah. That's what I got going. That's what I say about this show. What did I think? Oh yeah, shoot. You know what? What am I thinking? I need to go back over here. We need to go to the Wrestleviews. We need to see what everyone thought about the show. Because, of course, I need to go back what everyone thought about this show. Let's go to the Twitter. Go to the Wrestleview Twitter. What did you think of the poll? What did everyone think of the show? Where is the poll? There is the poll. What did I think of the 32nd edition of Survivor Series? I'm giving it a thumbs down. Yeah, I didn't like it that much. I do's the votes. 64% said thumbs up. Yeah, Quentin giving the Tedesco thumbs in the middle. That is what it's called. It's the Tedesco thumbs in the middle. Because apparently, Tedescos don't have a pair of thumbs because they don't use them. That's what they are. How dare I be negative? Well, I'm allowed to be negative. Because I'm a wrestling fan. That's why. Here's some other things, too, to think about when it comes to this Survivor Series also. This may be the final time that we see Survivor Series being Raw versus SmackDown. Sports Illustrated had an article up earlier last week regarding, the new TV deal is going to be coming up next October. We may not have Raw versus SmackDown because the brands might be unifying because the TV deal, Fox would want to have the biggest stars on their show. As if Fox would know who the biggest wrestling stars are. All they know are names. The names that I know they would want on their show, Ronda Rousey. That's number one. After that, who the hell knows? They're not going to go back to a single roster anytime soon. No way in hell. And also the other argument was, well, USA paid a boatload of money. They'll want the biggest stars. They don't know who the biggest stars are. They only care about the ratings. They only care about ratings. They don't care how. They just want them. Do whatever you need to do. Doesn't matter who you book. Doesn't matter who's on your show. For all we know, they could just show pictures of the broom closet for 2 hours. As long as they're drawing 5 million viewers, they'll be fine. And SmackDown will draw 5 million viewers. Because it's not on UPN. It's not on Sci-Fi. It's not on USA. It is on Fox, one of the largest broadcasting channels you can get, right behind CBS, ABC, and NBC. Channels can get whatever they want, but they really don't care. They just care about getting the ratings. That's all they care about. So get off it. All right. So that's enough of that. Okay. That's enough of the show. Survivor Series was kind of a thing. Wasn't it a thing? I thought it was a thing. You know what else is a thing? The stuff that happens on here tomorrow and Wednesday. Those are things. Show up here Monday following Raw. Come on to the Wrestleview channel on the YouTubes. Mike Tedesco, recapper, reviewer, and every other thing that's involving Raw is going to be on here with his wife Victoria, where they're going to bitch about the show. Well, they might say some good things about it too. They might say some good things about it too. Who knows? Also, on Wednesday, Wrestleview Weekly comes to the YouTubes, comes to this channel every Wednesday, where I go over Raw, go over SmackDown, also go over all the major news of the day. The WWE Milk Carton, if you don't know what it is, you better tune in on Wednesday. And also watch me take 4 shots of this stuff because I don't know shit about professional wrestling. Okay? That's why you want to tune in. Okay? See me say some stupid shit. So that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Please click on that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you don't press on that subscribe button while you're listening or watching this show, I consider you a terrorist. All that shit that you said about the veterans and how much you care about them, you're lying. The only thing you ever give thanks for during Thanksgiving is that you have, I don't know, thumbs. Seriously. So, subscribe. What the hell's your problem? I'm going to keep on insulting you until you subscribe. That's really going to help, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Thank you all so much for stopping by, tuning in, tolerating me. I promise Adam might be back for the TLC pay-per-view review. We'll see. It depends on what all he ate the previous night. So, Adam, if you're listening, I hope you've learned your lesson. You were watching NXT that night, right? I know you were. You had a conference call with Triple H that we were supposed to talk about tonight. Adam, you know damn well you should not be eating Cheetos that late at night and then you go straight to bed. Okay? And I don't know what kind of beef broth you drank that was dated to cause you to get food poisoning. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure. Whatever the hell it was, Adam, just know what the hell you put in your mouth. That's a really good soundbite right there, by the way. All right, no, that's about it. I got to stop doing this before I dig the grave any deeper. I got to make sure I have a long enough ladder to get out of this hole. All right, guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. Catch y'all on Monday.